After graduation, many AHS students begin a new chapter of their lives by attending college or beginning their new career. We sat down with some former Eagles to see what they are doing and where they are now. We spoke with Reeves Mosley and Coach Lance Sutton to talk about college and their life after high school.
So after I graduated high school, obviously during my senior year and everything, you did the classic application process, and I narrowed it down to a few schools and ended up at UNC Chapel Hill up in North Carolina.
So life after high school, I went to Texas A&M. My dad went to A&M, and so I was kind of brainwashed from a young age to be an Aggie. So I went to A&M, graduated in 3.5 years, and then I went on to teach in a little town called Magnolia, kind of down near Houston, before I came back to Argyle.
The former Eagles speak about how their careers and how the staff at Argyle helped to prepare them for the future.
So I've always had this kind of ambition to do something around the realm of political science and everything, and I think a lot of my teachers in Argyle, like Mrs. Romero and then Mr. Bean and of course Ms. Short, were all providing a really good foundation for a support network for me, kind of broaden my horizons. And of course the dual credit offered at Argyle really provided me with just the ability to get my foot in the door. So when I came to Carolina, I had like 40 plus dual credit hours. So I was technically, as a freshman, I was a second semester sophomore, so I could kind of underload and double major with a minor while I was not kind of, taking too aggressive amounts of coursework.
I think Argyle prepared me super well to begin my career after college, just because the standard is so high here. And, kids, whether it's academics or band or sports or whatever, like, kids want to succeed, and there's just like this culture of competitiveness, but it's a good thing. I think that's real life in a lot of ways, is you've got to go out and earn, whatever you're striving towards. And so I think Argyle just kind of already instilled that in me.
Mosley talks about his first experiences with politics after attending high school.
So the first politician I ever worked for was Senator Marco Rubio's presidential campaign in 2016. And then after that, I worked for Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016 too. In the general election, I worked a few phone banks. And then once I got to UNC, the summer after my freshman year, I split the summer on Capitol Hill. So for the first half, I worked for Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn of Texas. And then the second half, I worked for Congressman Michael Burgess, who's actually our representative of the 26th district. And then this past summer, I actually had the opportunity before I went abroad to work for Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Houston. So he's a Navy SEAL, and he's he's basically the Republican Party's darling and silver lining. So it was really interesting to work for him. It's a different dynamic than I've ever worked for anybody before.
Coach Sutton also expresses his experiences of working alongside his mom, Miss Sutton.
Working with my mom as part of the staff is awesome. I love it. When I first got hired back in 2015, I didn't know what that would look like or what to expect. But everybody knows how awesome she is and how much she loves the kids and loves what she does. And it's just been a huge blessing for me as a younger educator to just watch how she treats y'all and how she conducts herself. And she's always been a role model of mine. She's my mom, but now she's a role model as an educator too. So it's been really cool.
Coach Sutton shares his advice to current high school students.
So my advice for anybody who's undecided on what they want to study, I would say just be patient and don't feel like you have to pick your major and stick with it from your freshman year on. It's okay to change your major and to explore some different things. And then I would just say, maybe don't even think in terms of what job do I ultimately want to have. I would say just think in terms of what am I passionate about and what do I enjoy doing? What are my hobbies? And I would keep that more as your focus, and then figure out later what job fits that. At least that's what I tried to do, because like I said, I knew that I loved sports and I knew that I loved working with kids, and so obviously that led me to coaching, because that's where I get to do those two things.
This has been Campbell Wilmot, Delaney Leckwitt, and Jacob Lormond reporting for the Talon News.